the real-life Ferndale family behind Ferndale Manor and its fictional family fortunes. Where does the full-frame Ferndale family fuse into fictional fantasy? Ferndale Manor, the miniature marvel. An ambitious and awesome achievement by an atypical family and autistic daughter. Let me elucidate. A huge ambitious miniature house that became Ferndale Manor, a 12th scale world to support our dreams of being in that world and inhabited by partially fictional characters, hence the father, William, mother Gwendoline and eccentric single daughter Miss Stephanie are based on us, the Ferndales, all the others are totally fictional. In essence it is how we would like life to be, and it is a bit of fun too. We are a family of 3, Mom Gwendoline, Dad William and autistic daughter Stephanie. There is no other family. We all live together in a house and grounds designed by William over 60 years ago. His designing days he thought were past, but his creative imagination and insatiable dreams were strong. Great construction and grandeur were restricted by funds and frailty, however, dreams are free and unlimited. Stephanie, the only daughter and on the autistic spectrum, had been very ill. She can't deal with the outside world and felt a failure for it. However, she has special powers, well, skills really, enhanced by her autism. She had become a talented electronics engineer of note in a university lab, where eccentricity and being atypical is the accepted norm. The stress of it all brought on anorexia. Her health issues then closed that chapter. Stephanie needed an undertaking for rehabilitation. She was able to create small, intricate, detailed equipment, and was creative. She excelled at model making, an elegant daughter in modeling, all 6 foot of her. Dad had a cunning plan for his daughter's rehabilitation and to vent his own creative fervor, a huge ambitious miniature house that became Ferndale Manor, a 12th scale world to support our dreams of being in that world and inhabited by partially fictional characters, hence the father, William, mother Gwendoline and eccentric single daughter Miss Stephanie are based on us, the Ferndales, all the others are totally fictional. In essence it is how we would like life to be, and it is a bit of fun too. Our real home is unusual, secluded and gives the impression of being a secret island in a suburban sea. We have made it so and keep it so, partly to protect Stephanie now, as she worked hard to support us when William had to retire early. She surpassed all expectations, however, it broke her. Ferndale Manor worked for both Stephanie and William. It got out of hand as a project as William and Stephanie vied with each other. If I draw something, can she make it? Yes, she can. William responded with more audacious ideas. Stephanie performed, and this escalation continued as the two tried to find each other's limits. They never did. William found classical architecture enthralling, however its rules regarding proportion are strict, particularly around windows, columns, entablature and much, much more. This meant that in order to create what William wanted, all the parts were of custom size, therefore had to be made by Stephanie. This custom fabrication included working curved sash windows, columns with a correct diameter for their height, also with entasis, balusters, finials and embellishments all made in-house to aircraft tolerances, even making a machine and cutters for making wooden moldings for skirting board, chair rail, dado rail etc. It was over £1 a foot and we needed hundreds of feet. Doors, door surrounds, arches and pediments. Even Gwendoline became involved, relentlessly painting and sanding each and every item 3 times. There are hundreds of urns, finials, balusters and columns. The hard part is shape consistency, slight differences show, and the complex curves done freehand. yes, she made the tools too. Burnished steel fire grates and hoods that flicker for effect, again made in-house, including the circuit boards, stinky process. Even the metal work window leading and the weather vanes are Stephanie made. Then the stairs, I think the geometry got to William with compound curves and complex angles. Remedy, give Stephanie a start point, end point and step height and go off plan. Wow, and the results were stunning. Same criteria for the spiral stairs, a work of art and engineering in itself. Lighting options were to follow and the wiring, what was on offer, actually not a lot, mostly out of period, either cheap and nasty or good and justifiably priced high over £100 a pop. We want 22 chandeliers, we sold a few, and many wall lights, plus 4 old-style external floodlights, and 2 large carriage lamps for the front entrance, so the prospect of great expense for chandeliers, and the other types were simply not available at all. So Stephanie made the lot with crystal beads from the jewelry quarter, all 2,000 of them, even drilling cocktail sticks lengthways, to make the candles have wicks. The hard bit was getting an autistic person to cope with a busy city, to vet and acquire the crystals. Electronics, wiring and power. The dollhouse industry had little to offer. What was available was simplistic, clumsy and juvenile. Off we go again, more custom in-house stuff. Stephanie had worked in electronics and circuit design and had been on top of her game. Surely Ferndale Manor deserves the best. This was when cordless everything was the future, so she designed an infrared remote control unit for dollhouses in 1992, conceivably the first, and highly intricate and complex. It worked brilliantly, armchair control of each and every light. This level of individual control requires a great deal of hidden wiring, hundreds of meters of it. Ferndale Manor. Electronics and infrared control. Or it's just simply magic. Ferndale Manor and the electrics, it deserves the best, therefore it would of course have the best. Electrics are out, electronics are in, and probably the first miniature house with our own design and build of infrared cordless control system in 1991. Armchair control over every light, it even has an auto sequence mode for show or display purposes. Magical, mystical, magnificence. Achieving the impossible is just mundane, but creating miracles is stimulating. It was finally complete, decorated and painted, hence vacant possession. Stephanie is rehabilitated about as much as one could hope. We are all older, maybe not wiser though. The duster project like this makes is unbelievable and lots of dusting needed to eradicate. Now what is there for us to create or do? So we enjoyed furnishing the manor. There is a world of different quality furniture out there, crude, tough and cheap for the traditional dollhouse for children, middle ground for top-end dollhouses for mature people, and custom-built masterpieces for hundreds to thousands of pounds for miniature houses. We chose from the middle ground and most selectively. Some of it is very good. The high end is out of our price range but worth every penny and more for the skill, time and quality. Stephanie was getting creative, and hinted that she might have a go at furniture, and my goodness she did, and the autistic qualities that make autistic people special came out in bucketfuls, fastidious detail and accuracy. She went from never tried furniture before, to top-end exhibition standard directly from the outset. Brilliant, but go into a grocer's and choose an orange is very hard for her on so many fronts. Is there a market for all this? Well, yes and no. It can take 40+ hours to complete a piece and involves hyper skill. The rewards are small, £1.50 per hour. Ferndale Manor itself took 2 years full-time by 2 people of great skill. Do the maths, it's an enormous labor cost. It is a great shame that the world has become so superficial and its artisans so undervalued. There are only a few people who appreciate the work and feel the price is right, but just can't justify the spend. Fewer people still will pay just because they can do it easily. Unfortunately, most expect to pay around £5, that's 12 pence per hour. Would you work for that? Unfortunately, the family are 90, 85, and 56 years old, and one can only wonder where Ferndale Manor and indeed Miss Stephanie will end up when William and Gwendoline pass. Stephanie will find it devastating. We fear for her, and she is aware of this prospect too. As you can see, I hope, this is all unique, the manor, the furniture and the electronics. Regrettably, Stephanie is not well enough to create inspirationally, and we are too elderly. Looking after each other takes all we have. Stephanie does her best, it's hard for her and drains her creativity. We end this show with more photographs of Stephanie's furniture, as we have hinted at in the cameo shots herein. I hope you are touched by this story and moved by the Ferndale Manor movie. Please subscribe, donate and comment. Thank you.